The annual Christmas party is a much loved office tradition. Now it can range from the mundane to the totally insane. And it can help get to know your work colleagues in perhaps a whole new way. But Christmas parties or holiday parties can be costly. And the question is, do they help the business at all? Is there any benefit to your team, to your department, or to your business? Now, I am no humbug, but today, let's explore Christmas parties and the value of them in your business. Welcome to JT in the Raw Show 178. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. I hope you all had a wonderful day of giving gifts and eating presents and being with your families. JT in the Raw comes to you every week where I chew the thin on business, and after 30 years in business, I have just a few thins to chew. And this week's JT in the Raw, show 178, I might add, 178, I might add, comes because my news feed has been filled for the last 2 weeks with Christmas parties. Owners taking their staff out for Christmas parties, leaders taking their teams out for Christmas parties, and team members being out on the town with Christmas parties. Now, the thing about Christmas parties is they are genuinely amazing. They are great. They are fantastic. And, you know, one of the really interesting things, I guess, about them, if we're thinking about the pros and the cons, is there anybody on the team that does not love a Christmas party? Is there? Of course not. The whole team love a good Christmas party. Now, I guess my question to everybody today, and this could in fact be the question of the day, you know I love a good question of the day, is this: how long does a Christmas party boost morale for in your business? How many days, in the comments below, how long does a Christmas party boost morale for in your business? Now, as I said right up front, I am not a humbug. I love the festive season. I love Christmas. I love everything it stands for. But I guess my question is this: when we think about the cons of a Christmas party inside a business, is this: they can be costly. You know, on average, an employer spends $75 per person at a Christmas party. $75 per person at a Christmas party. That adds up if you've got 10, 20, 30 staff. Imagine if you've got 40 staff. Darren's saying that 7 days, depending on what happened at the party. Of course, what happens at the party. If there is, in fact, a photocopier there, it might last a bit longer, Darren. 7 days. So the question of the day for those that are joining us now, whether you're watching live or on replay, is how long does the morale last in your team, a positive morale last after the Christmas party? One of the other problems that I see with Christmas parties is they become expected. It becomes expected that every year you have a Christmas party. So it is almost taken for granted that you as the leader, you as the manager, you as the owner of the business will put on some sort of party for your people. I guess the third con that I think about Christmas parties is this: is that there's party creep, party expense creep. Because if you did a party at this level this year, next year there's an expectation of the team, whether that be fair or unfair. There is an expectation that the party is at least the same, if not a fraction better. Does a fraction better mean better food, more booze, more entertainment, more presents? What does that actually mean? So therefore, over the course of 3 to 5 years, is your Christmas party expense going up from that average, as I said, being around $75 per person? Does it then creep to 80, 85, 90, 95? And over the course of maybe owning your business for 5 years, you're at $100 a head. I know my parents spent way more than $100 a head for their half a dozen staff. And sometimes as owners, that's how they justify it, by the way, is that we don't have a lot of staff, so we can spend a little bit more on them. So I guess we think about the pros and we think about the cons of a Christmas party. But here's my real thought. What I see posted on news feeds is how much and how valuable staff owners feel about their staff. Frosty says, implement JT's made up public holiday, works a treat. Maybe that's another option. Instead of having a party, I'm just going to give you a paid day off. There's an interesting idea, a paid day off instead of a party. Not all together, of course, but at different stages throughout the year. What I'm trying to get you guys to do is just think and do a little bit differently when it comes to Christmas parties in 2020. Because I see owners thanking their team and giving so much effort and energy and love to their team. But my question is, why aren't you doing that throughout the year? Why are you not doing that throughout the year? So I think there's a lot of options that are available, but I really like the idea of asking the team at the beginning of the year, here's my budget, this is what I'm going to spend on you to celebrate success. So when we have success, we will celebrate, we will party. Here's my budget. How would you like to spend it? How often would you like to spend it? And let's put it on the team to make that decision, rather than us as owners putting it on. Again, for many owners, you might be older than your team, and so what you think is a good time is not necessarily a good time for the younger generation. So the party therefore means nothing to them. But if you do decide to go forward with a Christmas party for next year, let me give you 4 suggestions around that Christmas party. The first one is this. Choose a less popular date. Choose a less popular date. As everybody knows, dinners are usually way more expensive than lunches. In fact, 46% of companies held lunches this year rather than Christmas dinners. And overall, the most popular day for a party is usually around mid-December, December 15th, 16th or 17th. Friday is the most popular day for a Christmas party. So if you want to save money, why don't you follow the lead of many companies and bring that party forward to maybe November? Perhaps cash flow is better for November for you as well. Perhaps you can get more people of your team to attend in November because they are more open to ideas and celebrations in November rather than you competing against their own celebrations in December. So choose a less popular date, and that could be cheaper for you. Make sure you arranged a fixed price for food. A set menu in advance at a fixed rate will also help save some money. Now, you need to think about, obviously, the dietary requirements of all of your team members and all of that stuff. But think about how we could save some money by having a fixed rate. In fact, around about 70% of companies are doing this. 70% of companies have a fixed rate on food. Now, the big one particularly, well, actually, I don't think it matters where you are in the world. A big one is the consumption of alcohol. The big decision is, are you going to serve alcohol or are you not? And keeping consumption under control is also your responsibility. Not only keeps costs manageable, but it's your responsibility. Only 47% of companies this year served alcohol at Christmas parties. 47%. And all of those had a consumption limit, a limit of how much alcohol could be drunk. So if you're not getting an alcohol deal with the venue, consider some like alcohol tickets. Like I'm going to give you 3 free drinks. After that, it's up to you on how much you want to drink. And number 4, well, this is an interesting one because lots of companies feel the importance of giving Christmas bonuses or giving Christmas gifts to their team. And what we're finding through the research is that corporate gifts are currently around about a 50-50 split. 50-50. So why not change that concept? So what about changing your gifts to going to that Kris-Kringle or the Secret Santa? That can add a whole lot of fun, but it can also save you some money. So let's change perhaps how we do gifts and create some fun around those gifts with Kris-Kringle or Secret Santas. Ladies and gentlemen, today's show, if you got any value out of it, I'd love you to share it. Christmas parties. How long does the morale stay raised after a Christmas party? And I talked about the pros and the cons of having Christmas parties. And if you decide to have a Christmas party next year, then I want you to consider those 4 tips that I gave you in order to save some money around that Christmas party. And believe me, as I said earlier, if you're just joining me, I am no humbug. I love Christmas. But what I want us to do is I want us to think about what is the benefit of that Christmas party to our business, to our team, and to the morale of the team. And quote of the week is this. This is a great quote of the week. I love this quote of the week. It's this. It's not the expense of the party. It's the thought that's gone into it. How it's organised, the intention, and the generosity. It's not the expense of the party. It's the thought that's gone into it. How it's organised, the intention, and the generosity. And my thought for JT in the Raw show 178 is this. Allocate your budget for 2020. Allocate how much you're going to spend at your Christmas party in 2020. Then say to your team, this is how much I'm going to spend. Based on our performance, let's celebrate success. Shall we do that once a quarter, once every 6 months, or at the end of the year? What would you like to do to celebrate success? It's up to you. And how would you like to do that? I will organise it, but you tell me what you would like to do. Ladies and gentlemen, celebrating success is a critical thing in business. Our team members love it, and we love to do it with them. But I hate, and I know hate is a strong word, but I hate team members taking it for granted that we will just have a party or we will just have a celebration. It's important to celebrate, and it's important to thank people. My thought is that we'll be thanking them, and we should be celebrating success throughout the year and not waiting just until Christmas to have a big party. That's my thought for you for 2020. Quote of the week again. It's not the expense of the party, it's the thought that's gone into it. How it's organised, the intention, and the generosity. If you like JT in the Raw this week, give me a love heart right now. And if you want, even share the show. I love people when they share the show. I'm always grateful for it. Now, I hope everybody has a wonderful new year. Between now and the next JT in the Raw, of course, will be the bringing in the new year. There's going to be resolutions, both from you and your team and your customers. So your job is to make sure that if they are your customers, you can help your customers keep their resolution. That is your job. And if they're your team members, most importantly, what is their New Year's resolution for their work? And you need to know that, because that's your job as the leader, is to help them achieve what they want in the year. My job is to help and think and do different around Christmas parties for 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been tuned in to JT in the Raw show 178. Quote of the week again. It's not the expense of the party, it's the thought that's gone into it. How it's organised, the intention, and the generosity. And that, ladies and gentlemen, gives you permission to have a Christmas party every single week if your team have earned it. I'll catch you on the flip side.